If you want to drive around with strangers in your vehicle, you need to pay very much attention to your surroundings because people get involved in situations that you have no idea about. After driving for over 2.5 years in the city, I was able to keep a good standing on my account, and it's probably because of the way I treated my passengers. I mean, I would have good conversations with them, I would treat them right, and I wouldn't really pay attention or care about the way they look or the way they dress. But one thing that you cannot ignore is the way people smell. I mean, your car is a closed environment, so when somebody gets in it, you will have to smell what they have on. And I never really missed an opportunity to congratulate or compliment somebody who has a good smelling cologne on. I'm picking up a gentleman close to the Barclays Center, and as soon as he entered the vehicle, I could smell the cologne he had on, and it smelled extremely good. So a few minutes into the trip, we started chatting, and he told me that he was about to go and visit his girlfriend. I couldn't help it but ask him what kind of cologne he had on. And he told me that he had something called Guilty by Gucci. And of course, as soon as he said it, I said to myself, I don't think I can afford this because Gucci is known for being a really expensive brand. But as the conversation went on, he told me that it wasn't that expensive because it comes in a set and you get what you paid for. And I told him that I would do some research after I dropped him off. As I got close to the destination, it was a big apartment building with a parking lot in front of it. So I started to slow down to drop him off. And that's when he started screaming hysterically. And he was like, don't stop, go, go, go. I'm like, what's going on? This guy was nice a minute ago and now he's yelling at me not to stop where I'm supposed to stop. As I turned towards him to ask him what happened, I saw a female running towards the car. And she was also yelling. She was like, stop this car, stop this car. And in my panic, I'm just like, are we getting attacked or what? What's going on? Like, this is crazy. So I stepped on the gas immediately in my panic. And as I took off, she grabbed the door handle of the car. But I had no intention of stopping, so I kept stepping on it. So she kept yelling as she was running right next to the car. And she was yelling, stop this goddamn car, I'm gonna kill you. So eventually she let go of the door handle because I kept accelerating and I went and blew through the stop sign. But that was right after I heard something impact the back of my car. So I had no idea what had happened. So after I blew the first stop sign, I went to the next light. It was red. So I ran it, making a right turn. And then I kept making random turns left and right to try to lose whoever was going to try to follow us. I ended up stopping the car on the parking lot of some fast food restaurants and my heart was racing. I didn't know exactly how to react to that and I was really scared because apparently somebody was probably trying to kill me, him, or maybe both of us. So I turned to him and I started asking him questions. I said, like, who was that? And he tried to convince me that he had no idea who was following us and trying to assault us while we were still in the car. And I told him, I said, you need to tell me who this woman is because if you don't, I will have to report that to the authorities and you will have to explain this to them because that was assault. And I kept pressing him, and as he was trying to talk to me about it, his cell phone was blowing up. He had messages, calls, but he never picked up and never answered the text messages. So I got out of the car and went to the back to inspect the damage on the trunk because I didn't know what had impacted my trunk. Maybe it was a bullet, maybe it was an object, I didn't know. So I checked it and I realized it was just, she probably threw a bottle or maybe a cup of juice on the back of my car and it was just covered with a juice or maybe soda. So I went back to the car and I told him, I kept pressing him, I said, you need to tell me what happened. You need to tell me who she is because somebody just tried to hurt us. He finally confessed that the girl that I was taking him to visit was not his girlfriend. And that in fact, a few days prior, his girlfriend that he lives with found out about this second girl and then contacted her on social media. So that particular night, his girlfriend borrowed his car, claiming that she was going to spend some time with her friends, but then she drove to the second girl's place and waited for him. So by the time I picked him up and took him to the second girl's place, she was already there waiting for him. And actually, as I pulled over, he was the one talking, but he stopped talking for some reason because he recognized his own car in the parking lot. And that's why he started screaming hysterically and asked me to take off. But it was too late because the second girlfriend was also sitting there with his main girlfriend. So I told him, I said, it's too bad that your date has been canceled, but we'll call it a night and you'll have to get a ride home. But then he tried to convince me that if he called another car, they would charge him extra and then he would have to pay for. I said, yeah, they would charge you extra, but I'm not going to take you back to your place because your girlfriend is probably waiting for you there. And I know exactly what's going to happen once we get there. I'm going to have my windows busted. I'm going to get assaulted, or I'm going to have to break up a fight between the two of you. And I don't have time for this. And then this dude was like, come on, man, you got to understand. It's not like you don't do it too. I said, yeah, but you got caught tonight. And I don't want to be part of it. So you got to get out. So I kicked him out of my car and I drove away. And a few hours later, I was home. I can say I've gotten very lucky that night because I didn't get hurt. My car wasn't damaged. But it's not always the case when you're dealing with somebody who got caught cheating on their girlfriend. And it helped me wake up to the fact that if you want to drive around with strangers in your vehicle, you need to pay very much attention to your surroundings because people get involved in situations that you have no idea about. So I got the whole set of the Guilty by Gucci thing. It comes with the cologne, aftershave cream, and the shower gel. And it's probably 160 bucks. So it wasn't that expensive. So at least I got something good out of the situation. Why don't you just drive me back home? I said, really?